let's turn our attention to Kamala Harris's campaign. She's gone from doing no interviews to doing a whole bunch of interviews with very friendly types. She's done 60 Minutes. She's sat down with Howard Stern, done an interview there, the Call Her Daddy podcast. What do you see is behind this change in strategy, and is it working?
Yeah, look, she's not very smart. I think that's what come across pretty clearly. I think it's the reason why she's so popular among the white college student group of people, because she is the definition of a pseudo-intellectual, right? She kind of strings together a bunch of platitudes as if her speechwriter was formerly employed by a fortune cookie company. She put those together, people go, oh, look how smart she is, when she's really obviously saying nothing. Look, she's not good at this, and it's incredible to me how she's so ill-prepared for the question that she knows she's going to get, right? That even among friendly media, and that's why she's not prepping, because she knows she's doing all these interviews among the friendly media, that she's not going to get pressed on those issues. Until that is, she had that 60 Minutes interviewed with the always well-coiffed Bill Buzzsaw Whitaker, who's like a dog with a T-bone steak. He wouldn't let go of her. It was phenomenal. It was something to behold. You know, she was sitting there, and he asked her all the typical questions. She, of course, deflected because she had no answers, but he wouldn't let it go. It was great. When he was talking about the border, she kept deflecting, and he kept going. He went back that well 3 times on the border, saying, yes, you say the numbers have gone down now, but they quadrupled under your tutelage, under your czarship from Trump. And, of course, she couldn't do it. He was talking about the economy. She, of course, was moving away from those questions. He interrupted her. He kept going back to it. It was something to see. Good for him. I'm glad he did it.
Yes, yeah, he was tougher than she's faced, but still, I thought she got away with plenty. There was a lot of platitudes, a lot of empty statements, even the whole, how are you going to pay for this? Well, we're going to tax the rich because the rich don't pay any tax, when he would have known perfectly well that that was a data point he could have corrected her on. And this mystery now with ABC posting these 2 different versions of her answer on Israel and being... having some influence on Prime Minister Netanyahu. That 2 very different answers, one posted Sunday and the other one that went to air on Monday. And the one that went to air on Monday makes Kamala look far more coherent and strong compared to the word salad we got, which is, I think, the full answer, which everybody mocked widely. So I think even the ABC, despite doing a tough interview, are doing their best to protect her. Meanwhile, on The View, which was very friendly indeed, where she was just loved and adored, I think that's where she really screwed up, because have a listen to this answer. I think this is the Trump campaign's next ad.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
I can't believe she said that, Ami. Why would she? She's tried to distance herself from the Biden-Harris administration. She's tried to present herself as the change candidate. We're turning the page. It's a new day. And yet she just said she can't think of a thing she would have done differently.
She's so bad at this. Look, she's a bad politician. She has fallen down upwards in every single position she has gotten. Look, of course there's an answer for that. But look, what's incredible to me, again, is that this is an election of change, right? The majority of people want a change candidate, but the majority of people see Trump as the change candidate because, like she admits, she says it. I was in the room for all the decisions. Yeah, they were all crappy decisions, right? But the truth is she's in a tough spot. I don't want to give her a pass here, but she's in a very tough spot. Either she's going to condemn the policies that she was beholden to, she was actually pursuing, or she had to say, look, I agree with them all, and they were all crappy policies, which is why he had to leave the race, because everyone knows he's been one of the worst presidents we ever had. Tough spot. I feel for her.
It's a tough spot, but like you said, it was a question she would have anticipated, and it's something she's got to be ready for. How are you different from the last 4 years? How are you the change candidate? And she had nothing. Now, President Biden has done it again. He has spoken to the media while Kamala was on air, stealing her thunder. And he made a point of setting the record straight on Governor Ron DeSantis, Florida governor, who Kamala Harris had accused of playing politics with hurricane relief.
Playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish.
Now, DeSantis slammed Kamala Harris for that bit of gaslighting, pointing that she's never made contact before during natural disasters that he's dealt with, and that he talks to the president, not her. And remarkably, President Biden backed him up. This is telling.
The governor of Florida has been cooperative. He said he's gotten all that he needs. I talked to him again yesterday, and I said, no, you're doing a great job. It's all being done well. We thank you for it. And I literally gave my personal phone number to call.
Is he trying to undermine her? Is this deliberate, or am I reading too much into it? Is it just Joe Biden sort of being unaware?
Oh, come on. Give the old man a pass. I mean, hasn't he gone through enough, Rita? He doesn't need it from you doubling down on him. Just let it go. Look, this whole riff on DeSantis-Harris and him not taking a phone call, I mean, it's just so gross. I see the man is right now in the middle of dealing with his second major hurricane in a week. The one that's hitting now, they say, is the biggest hurricane to hit Florida in 100 years. Sorry, Kamala, he's a little bit busy prepping for it. Like he said, she's like a spurned girlfriend. Like he won't take my phone calls, not returning my texts. Yeah, he's got more important things to do than deal with your craziness. I mean, leave the man alone. To call him selfish? Who's being selfish? You're politicizing this. You're making this about you. She can't help herself. You're the VP. You have absolutely no role when it comes to this. But look, I think she, rather than bothering him when he's trying to prepare, maybe she could focus on FEMA, which, by the way, has a tremendous amount of problems. First of all, FEMA could only make available right now for this hurricane 9% of its staff for hurricane relief, when historically 25% of the staff is there because they're having massive staffing problems. 33% of all the jobs in FEMA are still unfilled when we're spending trillions and trillions of dollars. And then even more gross, this webinar came out. I don't know if you saw this. This webinar came out where they were actually saying that FEMA was saying that we have to prioritize equity over absolutely helping the most amount of people possible. This is when intersectionality actually becomes deadly, okay? Then a second webinar came out. They said we got to prioritize LGBTQIA plus -ampersand. That is how, look, it reminds me of that New Yorker cartoon that came out, my favorite cartoon, that said the world is ending, minorities disproportionately affected. That's where we are. We're actually living a New Yorker cartoon.
Ami Horowitz, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Always a pleasure.